Hey guys, welcome back to Never Mind Videos. And in this video, we're going to be covering two airplane flights. Just because I really am desperate to literally complete this. Come on, Chromebook! I thought you already passed the face on off. I heard you say that on one of your ads. Well, I guess you aren't. Go up. I want you to. This video probably already got copyright strike.
Fabled African city or maybe something out of the Arabian Nights. But in reality, this place is not an ancient treasure. In fact, relatively speaking, Khartoum is, well, new. Established only 200 years ago, this is a bustling town.
Yeah, this video probably already really like I said got copyright strike just because I put that episode in for like over 15 seconds. Then also I'm literally going to be watching YouTube. So yeah. 3 hours 51 minutes left of just flying this airplane. Like, pretty like, once I run out of content ideas for this airplane, yeah, I will just run out of airplane ideas just for this airplane. And this is one of my ideas for this airplane. But for a smaller airplane that I have a bunch of content ideas, but just for this one, I only have like, just sit in this seat for like 1 hour, sit in that seat for 1 hour, and like close the door and just fly until it's like out of fuel. So that's basically mine ideas for this one. Then for some other, like the small airplane, it's like sit in the pilot seat, sit in the co-pilot, sit in each seat, have a view about the luggage, have a view about the entire airplane, have a view of ejecting one of the emergency doors, have a view on ejecting one of the luggage doors, and just have a view on having it crashing. But I don't have like views for like this one that's like that. Plus, this is a pretty small airplane. And the big one would cost me like 4 hours of my life. And like I spent a bunch of my life just doing this. But at least I can do this. Alright, if I use just for this one is to just look out of this window. And also, do you know why windows are like this shape? It's mainly just because it was square or like a lot of casualties would happen.
Purpose-built from the factory with a frame included the test, so you don't
This video was made possible by Skillshare. Learn new skills that you can use at home, work, or school with a free trial of Skillshare Premium at the
There's a
link in the
bug
description.
on my Chromebook.
Normal times in business are like a road. For the most part, competitors are all heading in the same direction, and while some might turn away and try a different path, for the most part, the only way to get ahead is through brute force, to slowly catch up and take the lead. That is difficult. Abnormal times in business, though, when an industry is in crisis, are like a fork in the road. The competitors all reach it together and are forced to pick a path. This levels the playing field. While the big players have the resources to evaluate the different paths and might have experience from times when this has happened before, all companies, big and small, must pick a path. And at the end of the day, only one is going to work best. Crisis can be an equalizer. It stress tests the big incumbent firms to see if they're still the strongest, or riding on inertia, and gives smaller players the opportunity to make bold choices that could put them ahead. This is what's happening in the airline industry right now. It's one of the clusters of companies that, as a result of the coronavirus pandemic, had to almost entirely shut down, and is now in the process of turning back on and reinventing itself to capture a new set of consumers with new needs and wants. Industry turmoil is happening, and that means that there's a case to be made that we're at that fork in the road, that all airlines are having to pick a path, and that this could lead to a shuffling of the rank and order of the industry. There's a case to be made that right now, for the first time in a long time, there's real opportunity for something new. There's opportunity for airline entrepreneurship. If you were tasked with starting an accounting business, or a coffee shop, or a landscaping business, you'd probably know roughly what you needed to do to start. You need to get a license, or retail space, or some lawnmowers, and with enough initiative and a little bit of luck, you'd probably even have a real shot at successfully starting one of these. Meanwhile, if you were tasked with starting an airline, you and I both know that no matter your luck or initiative, you'd have almost no shot of ever taking off. Due to its complexity and capital intensity, successful airline entrepreneurship is one of the most difficult endeavors in business, but it is something that, occasionally, real people actually do. So what does it take? What is step one of forming a new airline? Well, first, an airline needs a business model. Now, everything for startup airlines nowadays builds off of what makes them unique, and new airlines have to be unique. You see, fundamentally, for a new company to succeed, they need to do something better than their competitors. They need to be cheaper, faster, more convenient, or just do something that others do not. If they don't, then why would customers choose to switch to them? The competitive advantage of major airlines is that they are major. Is that you can get on one of their planes on one side of the world and, after a few connections, get off on the other. The problem is that almost all of the major full-service network carriers, as those in the industry will call them, were formed in the early days of commercial aviation and grew as the industry grew. Today, it would just be effectively impossible for an airline to launch with enough scale to compete directly with United, British Airways, or Singapore Airlines, and if they didn't, the legacy airlines would crush them faster than they could get to the necessary scale for their competitive advantage to be considered their size. Of the 10 largest airlines in the US, none were founded in the current century, and in Europe, only one is, Wizz Air, which nobody would consider a full-service network carrier. In fact, globally, one of the only examples of a full-service network carrier established within the past few decades without government support is Virgin Australia, and in their case, it was almost by accident. The collapse of Ansett Australia, which was the country's only major full-service network carrier at the time, left a massive void in Australia's aviation market only a year into Virgin Australia's operations, which gave the company the opportunity to grow quite quickly and effectively. However, even this example gives further credence to the theory that it's nearly impossible for a new major full-service network carrier to emerge in the 21st century, as Virgin Australia entered administration in 2020 and is now exiting as a smaller, primarily domestic airline, ceding the international market to its legacy competitor, Qantas. So, once again, new airlines need a strong, defined, and unique business model to succeed. Looking at 3 of the most promising startup airlines planned for launch in 2021, a strong, defined, and unique business model is exactly what each of them has. Flypop, for example, is planning to launch long-haul low-cost flights from the UK to secondary cities in India without existing non-stop service, such as Amritsar and Ahmedabad, in order to cater to the Indian diaspora living in the UK. Meanwhile, Play Airlines is looking to reprise the business model of now-defunct WOW Air, and was even founded by former WOW executives by focusing on facilitating low-cost transatlantic travel with connecting itineraries through Iceland. Then, in what is likely the most promising airline startup of 2021, as its member previously launched WestJet's Azul Airways and JetBlue, Breeze Airways is looking to launch what they refer to as hub-busting flights on underserved routes in the US, meaning they're identifying routes without existing non-stop service such as Tulsa to New York or Louisville to Los Angeles, and capturing demand by setting up non-stop service. Crucially, each of these 3 business models do not involve directly competing with full-service network carriers. Budget airlines like Play Airlines and Flypop tend to expand the pie by offering prices that stimulate demand from a lower market segment that likely would not regularly fly on a full-service network carrier, while Breeze Airways will likely most directly compete with Southwest, as it's the primary incumbent airline that might offer non-stop hub-busting flights. In the selection of a business model, not competing against the world's largest airlines is a good choice because full-service network carriers have the time and money to start and win a price war, while startup airlines do not. That's because it's very difficult for startup airlines to get funding. There just isn't the appetite for it because the airline industry has very little upside for investors. It goes through massive, dramatic cycles of profit and loss depending on oil prices and external economic conditions, but even in the best of times, it makes a very fine profit. Over the past 25 years, even before the coronavirus pandemic, the industry has hovered around a 4 to 5% operating margin. Investors could just as easily put their money into something more secure, like the railroad industry, which hovers between a 25 and 30% operating margin. In fact, that's exactly what investor Warren Buffett has done. He's famously shirked significant investments in airlines while taking massive, successful bets on the American railroad industry. For this reason, many startup airlines fail before launch simply because they cannot secure funding, or after launch because they didn't secure enough funding to reach critical mass. For those 3 most promising startup airlines of 2021, though, they each have seemingly found enough money to launch. Play Airlines secured a $42 million investment from Avianta Capital, which is an Irish investment fund run by Aslan Whitley Ryan, a member of an influential aviation family which includes the founders of Ryanair. Meanwhile, Flypop's exact investor makeup is less clear, but their largest source of funding is coming from a UK government fund intended to kickstart innovative businesses whose launch was affected by COVID. Finally, Breeze took the most traditional funding path, having raised $83.3 million through the venture capital industry, but that was likely only possible due to its founder's remarkably consistent track record of successful airline startups. The only consistency with startup airline funding is inconsistency. Unlike other industries, where there is often a defined ecosystem of investors willing and sometimes competing to fund startups with a strong business model, plan, executive team, and proof of concept, you just don't have that with airlines. The tiny number of new entrants, plus the general lack of appetite from investors, means that finding funding to complete the extraordinarily expensive tasks required to set up an airline is itself the task that prevents most from reaching takeoff. One of those extraordinarily expensive tasks involves quite simply gaining the legal right to operate an airline. Every national aviation authority issues what are typically called air operator certificates, which allows a company to use their aircraft for commercial purposes. In the US, there are essentially two choices of certificate type for scheduled airlines. The first and simpler one is a Part 135 certificate, referring to the section of the US's federal aviation regulations that outline this certificate's operating requirements. Now, a Part 135 certificate is primarily used for cargo and passenger charter operations, which often includes private jet operations, but it can also be used for certain scheduled operations. Specifically, this certificate only allows the use of aircraft with 9 passenger seats or fewer on scheduled operations, with a few exceptions.